Reverend Ruth on Starry Bar with Angel Healing Ministries, and we are here in Tanglewood Preserve over in the Rockville Center Lakeview area. I'm not exactly sure where the town is located, but it's beautiful over here. I mean, everything is so lush and green. Remember the last time I was here, how everything was all like, looked like it was done for the season? Well, here you go. I remember how I promised that I would come back and do an update, and after all that rain we've had over the winter time, this is what we got. All this wonderful, all these beautiful greenery and stuff, and it's really nice over here. I kind of like it over here. I was trying to figure out where to go today, and I just didn't know where exactly, because with the weekends they now are charging the parks to get in, and you can't go in until after 4. These are like the little places that I can come to when I need to relax and stuff like that. But one of the reasons I'm actually here doing this video, again, this is Reverend Ruth on Starry Bar with Angel Healing Ministries, is because I wanted to confirm, I wanted to mention something that Joel mentioned this morning on his sermon, that how a lot of us, where it's called a super bloom, and he was talking about how a lot of things don't work out for us the way we want them to, and we have to go through we have to go through like a dry season and everything before everything starts to go the way we want it to for us. And right now we may be in the middle of a dry season, or you may be in the middle of a dry season, and things don't seem to be going the way you want them to. I know I am at the moment. And then there's like all that rain that comes, when it rains it pours and everything. And it's more along the lines as being patient and understanding, even despite the dry season and all the rain that we receive in our lives, my friends, is that it's just, it means something better is out there. God has got something better planned for you out there, and that's what I have to come in grips with. I got to come in grips with it all, because it's really tough when you're not working, when you don't have something going on, and I can understand that. I can relate to anyone who's going through that right now in their lives. And you keep wondering, when is it going to change? When is it going to change? And what you really got to think about, my friends, and I've got to do it too, is that we're all going to run through it. We're going to all hit a dry season, and it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough at first, but if you keep your faith in God and keep believing and having faith, something will work out for you soon enough. That life will be amazing and will work out soon enough for you, my friends. And it's just a matter of having just a little bit of faith, you see. And I thought this might be a great place to talk about it, because if you remember how different everything was, and now look at all this looks like amazing, beautiful, all this greenery that we're going through right now. If you're going through a season where things just don't seem to be going or working for you, you just gotta keep that faith within yourself, my friends. And it's a challenge. I can understand how it can be challenging for all of us to go through something like that, especially when we're really hoping that things are going to change, and we want things to get better for us and stuff like that. And it's been too long, and then you had something going really well, and then all of a sudden other things got in the way. It just means it wasn't the right road or right path for you to be on. It just means, okay, God's got something better in mind. It's the reward after the dry season and after the rain, that after that we start to we bloom. Many of us may be struggling with so much, and you may be look at this time in your lives to think about what you really want to be doing with your life and find time to focus on it. Don't worry because things aren't going the way you want them to. Just take the time and think and wonder, what would I really want to be doing? What do I want to focus on? I mean, I just started a plan where I want to start my own business, and it's going to take time to get that going as well. But we're going to have to keep having a little bit of faith, and I'm going to have to keep coming around and just, having faith that things are going to work out sooner or later for me. I just don't know when at this point. But I'm going to have to stay faithful, and I'm going to have to stay in that perfect truth. I've got to understand that things will get better at some point. And so do we all at this point. Just, take the time of what you want to focus on. Think about it, take the time to meditate, go within and find out what you really want to be doing with your life right now. I mean, I wish I could I love doing what I'm doing now, talking to people, giving these messages. And sometimes we don't know where to start. Maybe it's time for you to ask, for all of us to ask, okay, well, if that wasn't supposed to happen, then what is? What is my destiny? What direction do I need to go? And this isn't going to be all about, super bloom is just something that's coming up around the corner. But when you're looking for direction, you have to be patient. And if we're going to stay on the topic of super bloom, because I feel like I'm moving to another topic entirely. In that moment of our lives when things look like they're a little tough right now, just have faith that we're going to get through all that, and we'll make it through at some point in our lives, that things will change for the better. We just need to get in that situation, because our lives are already predestined for us, my friends. And we talked about predestined path a while ago. But when we take the time to think things through and, focus instead of getting all upset about what isn't happening, what isn't working for us, it gives us the time to really, really go within and think about what we want to be doing with our lives, my friends. And it may not be easy the way things are right now, but it's all going to change at some point in our lives. It's just going to change. It's just a matter of having a little bit of faith and believing, despite our situation that we're in right now. The more we focus on getting, the more we focus on the negative why, the less work we get done around here. We need to really need to focus and work on ourselves. And maybe it's like, take back whatever you didn't learn. Maybe you need to think about that and like, okay, well, what can I do now and make it work and stuff at this point in my life? I mean, some of us may be maybe like only a few years away from retirement, and we feel like people look at our age and they say, well, she's going to retire soon, or he's going to retire so soon. Why do we want to hire? They have the tendency to overlook. Maybe it's time to step in there and say things like, well, I know I'm not that far from retirement, but I'll work for as long as I have to make ends meet. Maybe that's a conversation we should start having in job searches and things like that. Or maybe focusing on getting our own business going might be something. I kept wondering throughout my life, I did have a couple of jobs that lasted a long time, but lately my journey's been with different businesses that I've started over the years, like when I was reading tarot cards. Hello, Feather. I was successful. Like when I ran Avon, I was successful. Maybe that's what I need to be looking at more. Maybe I need to be focusing on that. Maybe you need to be focusing on something different, or maybe you're in a position right now where everything is perfectly fine for you. I'm talking to those people out there that might feel like they're going through a tough time right now, and they're struggling and wondering when things are going to change. You just got to keep in mind that things are going to get better, my friends. And the more we believe in that, the stronger we'll be, And a lot of us need time to think and figure things out, despite things in life. And once we figure out that path for us, we can always go within and ask Mother, Father, God for direction. And they can give us a direction of which way we should go in life, my friends. And you just really, really got to focus, because I got really excited when I found this book on starting my counseling business. And I know for a while I've been pretty good with that. A lot of people have the tendency to sit and talk to me and wonder about me and talk with me, because they feel that I'm the kind of person they can talk to. So maybe I need to be focusing on something like that. Again, remember how I said, I think it was the other day or maybe it was yesterday, look back at what you've done in the past. Look at where you are, what led you up to today. Look at your life and see what in your life, in your past, might have led you to where you are today. And have faith, because that super bloom is coming. It's just a matter of time. We just have to be patient in our lives. And patience can be a challenge, especially when you're so worried with finances and everything nowadays. But we have to let that go. We have to know and have faith that God has got it under control, that God has got everything under control, that it's going to work out soon for us, for you, for any of us going through that at the moment. And when we reach that point and we're finally where we're supposed to be, my friends, that's when we're gonna really feel great about what we're doing, what we're focusing on, where we're going in life. And once you find that one thing that's meant for you, you'll watch everything just take off and flow. It's just a matter of being patient and waiting, my friends. You have to stay in faith no matter what happens. Despite the rain that comes in your life, despite the dry spell that's there, you have to remain faithful to what it is you need to do in life, my friends. Because when we remain faithful, things may be a little get better, but will get better for all of us. By the way, before we go on, I just want to let you know we are at the Twin Vortex in Tanglewood Reserve. I don't know if I actually mentioned that, and I took you to two different locations where the Twin Vortex was set up, and it seems to be really keeping this place really nice and beautiful, you know. And that's and that's what we have to look at too. I mean, yeah, the Twin Vortex is keeping everything wonderful, and God is sustaining that. But we have to sustain ourselves. We know God is in our corner, my friends. We know God is there, and God will take care of the situation. We only have to have a little bit of faith and believe that it's going to work out for us at some point in our lives. We just have to sit back, relax, and trust and have faith. And when we find that faith, and before just don't give up, don't get discouraged, because that super bloom is coming. I know it could be for some it feels like 10 years, 20 years, and still nothing. But another thing Joel mentioned in his sermon is that the seeds that were prayed for are out there, and a lot of the seeds that your family might have prayed for before might be germinating. He was talking about a mountainside that they had so much rain in California, and it might have caused a flood and caused a lot of challenges. But when he went to look outside, how beautiful all the weeds just seemed to have died and passed away. Pardon the airplane. I think we're sort of kind of on the path here, on the flight path. And the weeds died because there was just nothing for that dry spell, that time when everything was dry and nothing was going on. And then all of a sudden, all that rain came and created all these flowers I wish I could see that mountain, what that would have looked like. He said it bloomed with so many different flowers. It had like yellows and reds, all colors of incredible colors, beautiful colors. And through the winter time, we got more rain than snow. And then you see how rich and green a lot of stuff are. If you're watching videos earlier in the spring, when I was out there in like Clark Botanic Gardens, you saw how beautiful the flowers were. We really needed that rain. Like we need that rain to pull us through life. We need, and not the actual physical rain, but the rain that comes when things just seem to be falling apart in front of us. It's not that God's abandoned you. It's more along the lines as God has been setting you up for something better. I think he used the example of Joseph, who had to go through all that stuff before he became what he was supposed to become. That Joseph's brothers threw him into a pit, and then and because that didn't work, they put him in for slavery. And then what happened? The Pharaoh had a dream, and the butler that was watching over, that would check in on Joseph, had a dream and asked Joseph to translate that dream for him, and he did. And when the Pharaoh said he had a dream he couldn't understand, the butler said that that Joseph knows how to interpret dreams. So Joseph went up and interpreted the Pharaoh's dream, and the Pharaoh made him a prime minister. You see, he had to go through that dry spell. He had to get thrown into a pit. He had to get betrayed by his brothers. He had to get thrown in prison. That one woman had to make that report for him to reach that point in his life where things got better, and he finally had his super bloom, and he became the prime minister of Egypt. And I believe that was the example that Joel used. I like Joel when he talks because he makes a lot of sense, and there's a lot of things that Joel says that really helps with a lot of things, and I think the animals agree with me too. But you see what I'm trying to get at, my friends, is we got to go through a dry spell in our lives. We go through a dry spell, and then if a lot of things happen, don't get discouraged, don't get upset. That's the rain that comes after the dry spell. The rain that is getting everything ready for the super bloom that you're going to be running into, that you're going to be seeing soon. And again, my friends, when you find that super bloom in life, you'll finally be where you want to be. So keep on, hold on to that faith, believe. Don't lose faith, my friends. Remember, there's something good coming. God has something wonderful prepared for you. So hang in there, have faith, and don't get discouraged. We love you. This is Reverend Ruth Anstaria Bar with Angel Healing Ministries. And your super bloom is coming, my friends. You just have to have a little bit of faith. And when you have that faith, trust that God is helping you and God is gonna bring you through. As God is gonna bring me through my situation as well. We love you. Namaste. And if you like this video, please click the like button and subscribe. We love you. And this is Reverend Ruth Anstaria Bar with Angel Healing Ministries at Tanglewood Preserve in the Lakeview, Rockville Center area. Thanks. We love you. Namaste. Goodbye.